Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So I am not wearing glasses. That is because I got contacts and I love them so much. I did not expect I would like them this much. I never really wanted contacts, so this is new and hopefully the ring light will not be a problem in my eyes now, seeing as I can see everything. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the most disappointing books of 2019. There are only 4 here, and before I get into it, I just want to say I don't necessarily hate these books. They're just not what I was hoping them to be, and I'll explain more when I get to them. There's only 4, so that's good. There's not a ton. So hopefully this video will be pretty quick, but still go over the books that I wanted to like but didn't. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. So the first book I'm going to be talking about is The Spinner of Dreams by K.A. Reynolds. This was actually the first arc I ever got, so it's kind of disappointing that I didn't like it. My dad had to wait so long in line for this at BookCon, and I feel bad that I didn't like it, but then again, it's not my fault I don't like it. It's what it is. So it's about this girl who's cursed, and everybody around her sorts to be impacted by this curse, and they sort of hate her for it. So she goes and tries to get rid of her curse in this labyrinth thing, and she has to defeat the Fate Spinner. So to show her curse, she has this abnormally large hand, and then she'd have these little twinges in her hand because there's this horn that was poking through her hand or whatever. And whenever I read something, my hand would feel so uncomfortable, and I hated reading it. It was just not my favorite, and I didn't like the characters that much. The story was kind of bland to me as well. I wanted to be done with this book so badly. This is actually one where I don't like it, because some of them I actually do like, but this is the one where I really don't like this book at all, and I would not recommend. It's supposed to be a middle grade. I just don't like it. So I ended up giving this 2 stars, I believe. I have a reading vlog where I sort of talk about this and my disappointment in that as well. So if you can find that reading vlog, you'll see my thoughts towards this. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, so there's no promises that it'll be linked up below. Wow, that makes sense. Up top or down below in the description box, I don't know. So I'm making no promises. If you find it, great. I will try to find it, but if I can't, you may have to watch a ton of my reading vlogs. The next book I'm going to be talking about is Ship of Smoke and Steel by Django Wexler. Now, this is sort of a pirate book, but I don't know, it's kind of odd. So the main character, she goes on this ship, and I think she's trying to get to the captain, but there's a ton of crew on the ship that is preventing that from happening, and there are these creatures that I don't remember what they look like, but I think I envisioned them as large crabs or something. It's probably not what they look like at all, but that is what I did, and I just didn't like it that much. I did not really connect with the main character at all. I just didn't like the characters that much in general, and I found the story kind of lacking. So again, not one of my favorite books. I also read this for a readathon, so again, if you find it, you'll probably hear me talking about it. I ended up giving this 3 stars. Again, this is another book that I actually did not like that much, so I'm sad because it's a pirate book, and I am always looking for pirate books or books set on the sea, and I was hoping this one would deliver because the cover is so pretty. I love it, but alas, it was not for me. And another disappointing thing is that one of my favorite authors, Morgan Rhodes, who wrote the Fallen Kingdom series, blurbed this book, so I was expecting it to be loads better, but it wasn't. Now, this book that I'm going to be talking about next, I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars, but it was still disappointing to me. Just because of the previous 2 books, and I will get to that in a minute. So that book is Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the 3rd installment in the Caraval series trilogy, and I loved Caraval and Legendary so much. They were almost tied as to my favorite, And then I read this. Now, granted, I was in a reading slump when I read this book, so things weren't going so well for me reading wise, and I think that sort of impacted this book because I kept picking this up and then putting it down right away, so I think that sort of impacted it and my thoughts and feelings on it. But I did really enjoy this. I just thought that the magical aspects of it were a little bit lacking, and it wasn't as whimsical as Caraval had been or Legendary, because there's still that whimsical feeling in those books. I felt like this was more treacherous and not as, I don't know, just not as whimsical as the first two, and that really disappointed me because that's what I love in the first two, but it didn't happen in this one, so I still gave it 5 stars. I still love this book. It's just not my favorite out of the trilogy, and I wish it had ended on a higher note. And the last book I'm going to be talking about for this video is probably the most controversial one because I know everybody loved this one, and I'm sort of scared to be talking about this book for this video because everybody I have seen read this loved it, like loved it so much, so I am definitely the ugly duckling in this situation, so yeah, please bear with me. And that is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I don't like this book that much. Like, I did not like it when I read it. When I think of it, I'm like, I'm not as happy with it as I would like to be. So let me explain this. Oh, I didn't talk about Caraval, but a lot of you probably know about that, so sorry about that. But this one is about the President of the United States' son, and the President of the United States is a woman, and the King and Queen of England's son, and the two boys are in a romance. So it basically goes over that. Now, I didn't hate this book, like, I wish I liked it more, but it's definitely not my favorite. But the reason why I don't like it, again, I was in a reading slump when I read this. I was actually reading Finale at the same time, so that could be part of it. Another thing is, I don't think I'm quite old enough to understand all the political terms in this, because there were so many things that were happening politically that I just did not understand. So when I'm older, I'm hoping that I will come back to this with fresh eyes and more knowledge and read this and actually enjoy it a lot. I think just not understanding what was going on really hindered my experience reading this. So when I read this again, I'm hoping that I will love it and get on the hype train everybody seems to be on with this book, and I hope I like it in the future. But right now it's definitely a disappointing read because I had heard nothing but great things about this, and then when I didn't like it, I was just kind of disappointed, and this is definitely more on me than the book. I think that, again, I just need to go back into it more knowledgeably and older. I think that will be what I have to do with this. I am not completely giving up on this book, I just need more time, and that's okay. So those are the 4 books that I found to be the most disappointing in 2019. Again, I don't hate them all, they just disappointed me. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!